I have a question. And this is not, I want it on the record. We love Charlie Woods. Tiger, if you ever want to come on the podcast, we'd love to have you on the podcast. On today's Pardon My Take, we have a longtime friend back on the show, CJ McCollum. Great interview with him. For longtime AWLs, know that he was one of our favorite interviews back in the day, and we should have had him on earlier, but he's back now. Talk about the NBA Finals, talk about playing in the NBA. Great interview with him. We're going to talk about the Stanley Cup Final. We finally have it. It is the Edmonton Oilers versus the Florida Panthers. We've got some other sports to talk about. We have Who's Back of the Week. Great Monday show to kick you off while we wait for the NBA Finals, which should have been Game 1 tonight. I think we can all agree. Feels like Game 1 would have been perfect tonight. But we got some other things to get through, and we're brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. We're this close to crowning an NBA champion with the action heating up on the court. It's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. There's only so many games left, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out. You have to wait until next NBA season to place your bets. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your squad, place your first bet. It's that simple. The NBA Finals start on Thursday night. Hank, what are your Celtics are? 6-point favorite?
6.5 right now.
6.5 point favorite. On the money line, you can bet them if you think they're just going to win outright. So if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500. Just deposit at least $5, and you'll get a bonus bet back equal to your first bet if it doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go.
Hey, football guy. Latino. AWL. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take, yeah. Pardon my take, yeah. Pardon my take, yeah. Pardon my take.
Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. Only on DraftKings. Today is Monday, June 3rd. And the Edmonton Oilers are set to go to the Stanley Cup Final, where they will face the Florida Panthers. And Connor McDavid, can he win the big one? He's now in the big one.
This is big for Canada.
This is huge for Canada.
Like, think about that, an entire nation. When was the last time? Was it 1993?
That they won?
95?
That they won?
That they won a Stanley Cup.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time for our friendly friends up north. And God damn it, this is going to be good. I'm excited about this.
And the Connor McDavid goal to start the scoring tonight against the Stars was absolutely unreal. I mean, that was the goal where you're just like, not that he needs it. Again, he still hasn't won the big one, so we're going to wait on that. But that goal was so silly, and it was ridiculous, and it looked like a goal that you would see like come across your timeline in the middle of December, being like, oh, he's just trying some new shit out against, the Coyotes. No, that was Game 6 of a Western Conference Final to clinch going to the Cup. He is so goddamn good, and the Oilers are so hot, and they have a celebrity fan now ready to take them to the Cup against Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, if you need a reason to root for the Edmonton Oilers, I will give you 2 reasons to root for the Edmonton Oilers. This fan.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Draisaitl and...
No. This fan.
Yeah.
Just this fan. The 2 best reasons.
Yeah.
What fan?
Oh, it was the fan that flashed her titties, and they were really nice. You saw her. You'll probably date her.
It was a great video. She's passionate.
She's very passionate.
I love the passion.
She's very passionate.
Yeah, we need to introduce her to our boy Kodak.
Yeah,
down in Florida. Get a little Peas reunion going down there.
Isn't it so funny that like this Edmonton Oilers fan that was just flashing her whole section,
her upper section,
like the internet is a crazy place. We've made some crazy technological advancements, and you can find porn, nudity, whatever you want at any time. But if you get a pair in the wild, it gets the boys going.
It is
unlike anything else.
It is different.
It's all the talk. I think I've seen that video 1,000 times just put on my timeline, and it will probably be 1,000 more by the time we drop the puck on Saturday night.
And I'll watch it every time.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm getting horny when I'm watching. I'm just like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit horny.
Boobs rock.
What do you think? Those are A cups spelled EH?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go. But yeah, we're going to have Whitney on, I think, Thursday for the Stanley Cup final preview. But we had the Oilers. I'm happy for Edmonton Oilers. I'm happy for their fan base. Connor McDavid could be the next up in terms of best player. He's got to win the big one.
Mm-hmm. Right now, he still sucks.
I did play myself a little when I said we need to figure out who the next one is that we can say can't win the big one in case McDavid wins it. And then everyone was just like Bedard. So I was like, fuck.
Bedard's got
he's only been in the league for 1 year.
He's got a couple seasons before he has to get to the playoffs. So
correct.
Then he has to lose a playoff series. Then the narrative can
correct.
start. Yeah.
Correct. But yeah, there's other friends of ours that you could put in that group too, which that also would play ourselves.
Not going to do that though.
Yeah, right.
We aren't going to.
So we'll just say that we hope Connor McDavid wins it, and we can be like he won the big one. And if he doesn't, then he can't.
Then he can't win the big one. In a way, I'm kind of hoping that he loses, so we can really focus this take on him. Like losing in the Stanley Cup Finals would be the ultimate point on that crown of cannot win the big one.
Next step to not winning the big one.
Yeah. No, but I think I'm rooting for Canada. Sorry, Jake. Sorry about your peas. Sorry, Brooks.
Me versus the world.
I am as well.
Yeah, Canada. You're just so
care
nice.
so much.
You care so deeply. Also,
Edmonton's so far up there. You ever seen a map? Edmonton's all the way up there.
And the ice is different in Canada too.
Yeah, it's shinier.
Real shiny ice, fast ice, good ice. The crowd going nuts tonight was awesome. How many shots on goal did Edmonton have tonight?
9.
9?
Yeah.
They had 9 shots on goal.
All they needed was McDavid's insane shot.
And he had a great assist too to Hyman.
Yeah, he was that was awesome. The other side, memes. You have to be so happy. I went immediately to memes just getting first of all, memes tweeted. Did you tweet from the Pardon My Take account just a Rangers jersey that said ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. People were upset about that, but I love it because this is what memes does. Memes, congratulations, you've won your Stanley Cup. As someone who also hates a lot in sports, I'm happy for you in this moment.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I took a couple victory laps last night. Yeah, I'm just very excited. Summer could officially start.
Yeah,
you do like watching the Rangers lose more than you like watching the Islanders win.
Yeah, probably at this point.
Yeah. The Frankie did his tweet that he does every single year for the 83rd time in 84 seasons. The New York Rangers have been eliminated from the playoffs. And that got people very upset. It is crazy that a franchise has been around that long and gets talked about like that and has only won one.
Yeah. There was just that one season during the OJ year. And besides that, all theirs come from like World War II.
Yeah. Do you think they could ever win it?
This year was probably their best year.
Oh, man.
There's also the stat from Josh Dubow. With the Rangers eliminated, there have now been 100 combined seasons played by the Rangers, Islanders, Knicks, Nets, Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants without a championship.
100.
That's wild.
So what's the last one? It's the Giants?
Yankees in 09.
No, Giants.
Giants 2012, right?
Yeah, Giants.
Loser
That's
time.
crazy. 100 combined.
Bad sports town.
Man, they do have Aaron Judge who can't stop hitting home runs.
And Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Who's just absolutely
And
ridiculous.
Stanton.
Yeah. Well, it's more Juan Soto and Aaron Judge combined.
And Cole, hopefully, for the second half.
Oh, once a Yankee, always a Yankee.
Yep.
Yeah. The New York sports down bad. 100 combined? That's a lot of seasons in a row, isn't it, Hank? 'Cause they have a lot of teams.
Twice as many teams.
Holy shit.
I don't think Hank's ever gone that long as an alive person without a team winning a championship.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close to close.
This is probably the longest stretch.
Yeah, you're in the midst of your worst stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And you won a Super Bowl, what, like 6 years ago?
Yeah, and the Red Sox won in 2018.
Oh, you're such a piece of shit.
I'm excited though. The speaking of it, Hank, the I know we talked about it last week, but the NBA schedule, like my body was ready for the NBA Finals to start tonight.
It's brutal. I mean, I'm just walking around the house being like, what do I do? When to start the game?
Just start it.
I just can't keep thinking about it. Just start.
And you still have 3 more days.
I know.
3 more full days to get through.
Yeah. Are you weaponizing time?
No, I'm not great with time management. I'm just waiting. I'm just sitting and waiting.
Yeah, you're getting hungry though.
I'm so ready. My body is so ready.
As hungry as you've ever been. Longest drought of your life.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my Celtics in 7, but I did find some stats I told you I was going to search, and they're not. They make me think that I'm just nervous for you.
It's going to be tight. I mean, it's not going to be an easy series.
The Mavericks with these starting 5 guys that they've had would be a 67-win team, which is I know that they weren't a 67-win team, but they've been playing like a 67-win team.
They're a good team.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you guys see the stat?
I still am taking Celtics in 7. I think. Yeah, I feel good. I feel strong about Celtics in 7.
Did you guys see the stat over the weekend that going back to 2017, every NBA champion has had a former Wizard on the team? All the role players, they're all Wizards. So it's JaVale McGee, Sean Livingston, Jody Meeks, JaVale McGee again, Dwight Howard, Markieff Morris, Bobby Portis, Gary Payton, Otto Porter, Chris Chiozza, KCP, Jeff Green, Ish Smith, Thomas Bryant. That's just the list of former Wizards since 2017. So that means
like everyone's a former
this year,
Wizard, though. Like everyone goes to the Wizards for 1 year.
Yes, correct. But don't downplay the stat, Hank. It's a true stat. This year, Porzingis.
I didn't know any of those guys were on the Wizards.
Porzingis,
Hank. Also Gafford on the Mavericks. So the stat's going to continue for at least one more season.
Yeah, I guess
it's important, though.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Those are the important stats.
Yep.
Okay. What we had, we could talk some soccer. I'm waiting just to, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. The WNBA, I said this last week, the discourse fucking sucks.
What happened this time?
It got worse.
It got way worse.
It's so much worse than it was last week.
Caitlin Clark got assaulted. She almost died.
Yeah.
And we all have to sit here and debate it and talk about things that are not basketball.
Yeah. So Caitlin Clark, it was a good game.
Yeah.
You watched the game between the Sky and the Fever on Saturday. These two teams don't like each other very much. Little Ravens Steelers. That's going to be the Ravens Steelers of the next 10 years in the WNBA. The Fever beat Chicago on Saturday by 1 point. No one's talking about the missed free throw at the end. Cost her team the game. It was a good game, but there was a lot of horseplay.
A lot of antics.
A lot of extracurriculars on the court involving hip checking Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese celebrating, her teammates celebrating, and then none of them wanting to talk about it after the game.
Yes. Which that part I actually think is a lame move.
Yes. They hate Caitlin Clark. That could be good for the WNBA.
That's been my point.
But you have to acknowledge it. You have to not give a fuck and be like, yeah, we don't like her.
Correct.
And you have to say it with your chest. The lady from Edmonton would do that.
And the discourse has now become, it's so bizarre to me because one, so it was a cheap shot. It's not like that wasn't like a regular foul. It also wasn't, in like terms of cheap shots, a very dangerous one. It was just like a side check. And what you would think is that Caitlin Clark was maimed, assaulted, like beaten close to death by this one play. That wasn't the case. It's so bizarre that every time one of these things happens, it just becomes something so much bigger than just talking about the basketball game. And yes, I do think there are women in the WNBA that are very jealous of Caitlin Clark. That is lame. But what I would say to that is the people who are jealous of Caitlin Clark and when they take cheap shots at her, like Caitlin Clark, if she keeps being really, really good at basketball and if she has a career that she's expected to have, all those people will be a footnote to Caitlin Clark. It won't matter. She'll get the last laugh. Mm-hmm. Like they'll just be the jealous haters that her rookie year tried to toughen her, try to be tough to her.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. But it becomes this thing where it's like we have to protect Caitlin Clark. I also don't understand PFD for the life of me. I get it. Like Caitlin Clark is going to add viewership, but like asking all the women to basically be like, we have to bow down to her also makes no sense.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Right.
And honestly, if this was the NBA and you see this happen in other sports leagues, somebody comes to the league as a rookie with all these expectations, if they're the main storyline that year, the players in that league are going to be pissed off about that and they're going to take it out and they'll say it though. They'll be like, yeah, we're sick of people talking about her. We've been playing basketball too here. And so we want to show her on the court like, yeah, we're going to beat you up a little bit.
Can you find the clip? If we could play this clip, I remember it so well. When LeBron was going to Cleveland, and they interviewed. It was like Boozer, Smush Parker, like complete no, like Boozer obviously had a good career, but Smush Parker, no name. I think Darius Miles. They basically were like, yeah, maybe he'll be able to like help us a little bit, and shitting on their teammate, also Caitlin Clark's teammates. Someone step up.
Yeah,
like stop. It's not the internet's job to defend Caitlin Clark. It's your teammate's job. That's who you should be mad at. It should be like, hey, where are the teammates?
Yeah. Wait, have they gotten any quotes from her teammates being like, "Do you like Caitlin Clark?" Because it seems like they don't like her either.
Either way, it becomes this enormous like culture war that it's like, dude, I just wanted to watch some basketball. And if you think that I'm being very consistent because I said this last week when Angel Reese got clotheslined, which was probably a more dangerous foul, and people were making it bigger than basketball. I was like, this is going to ruin this. Like the WNBA, the amount of people who have started watching WNBA who are not actual sports fans are going to ruin the WNBA.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Like cheap shots happen, hard fouls happen, like rivalries happen. That helps the sport. Bad blood helps sports.
I would like Angel Reese to just stand on it and say, yeah, fuck her.
Agreed.
I don't like her. And what she said publicly this whole time has been, I have no problem with her. I like Caitlin Clark.
All right.
And every single action that she's had since they had that championship game 2 years ago has been like, I hate her. Remember the little crown that she left?
Yes.
Or like she does not
hates
like
her.
her, and just say that you don't like her. And then guess what's going to happen after that? People are going to be like, yes, I love Angel Reese. I don't like Caitlin Clark. Other people are going to be like, yes, that's awesome. I love Caitlin Clark. I don't like Angel Reese. And then when they play each other,
right,
it becomes a big fucking moment, and everybody does it.
Right, and it's a good point because for the people who are freaking out, like, we must protect Caitlin Clark. She can't be, like, this is the worst foul ever. They're lame. The people on the other side who are saying, essentially, there's no jealousy and there's nothing involved, like, this is just, no, there's jealousy. Mm-hmm. They're jealous of Caitlin Clark. They 100% are. It's okay to admit it. They're going to be footnotes in Caitlin Clark's career. When it's all said and done, they're going to be the Lance Stevenson blowing in LeBron's ear. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's what happens when you can't beat them straight up. You end up looking petty and probably stupid. And if Caitlin Clark goes on and has an incredible career, she should invite what's her name? What's her name?
Chenedy.
Yeah.
Chenedy to her Hall of Fame induction and single her out.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, thanks for fucking being like mean to me. You made me work harder.
Yeah.
That's how sports work.
And there was another shot that was called a cheap shot that it did look like Caitlin Clark might have flopped a little bit on one of them to try to sell it. So she flops, and that's going to make people hate her more. But again, this is all, I would already be saying this is good for the sport. It might already be good for the sport.
I think it is.
I just get exhausted seeing people
Correct.
with the, like you said, the culture war takes online.
Right.
Like go all in on one side of it without like taking the time to acknowledge that this could be good, and feeling this way about sports can lead to some awesome stuff.
And sports are tough and physical, and these things happen in sports, and we can't just be like, you cannot touch Caitlin Clark because she is good for the game. She's great for the game. She's going to get face guarded. She's going to probably, obviously, if there's cheap shots like at the knees and stuff, but in terms of, again, cheap shots, like a side check is nothing.
Yeah, I also think that for a long time, women's sports has been talked about like in the sense of, at least by the major media places, like rooting for everyone.
Right.
Like, let's celebrate everyone.
Right.
And the way that we talk about men's sport is much different than that, where it's like, fuck this guy, I hate this guy.
Right.
I want to, like, memes hatred towards the Rangers.
Right.
Right? Like having hatred towards a different city when your teams are playing sports against each other. That's how we feel about sports usually. And now the WNBA is coming to this place where it's more of a reckoning of not always talking about every team like, oh, she's a star, oh, she's so good, and rooting for every single player at the same time, but actually forming an identity around your team and around players that you care about and love.
Yes.
And even casuals forming that same love-hatred about players that they don't normally get, or teams that they don't normally care about.
Yes.
But they're finding themselves invested into it. Having this type of hatred and love, I think, is ultimately going to be very, very good for the WNBA.
Let sports be sports.
Let them be fun.
Let just sports happen. If it all evens out, because at the end of the day, the best part about sports is if you're better than the other team or the other player who is doing this kind of shit, you will end up winning out. Caitlin Clark will end up having a long career that makes millions of dollars because she's better than name
Kennedy.
Okay, so Kennedy will look like a fool at the end, and that's the beauty of sports. We don't need to protect Caitlin Clark by making this some big discourse about society and everything. Just let it fucking play out. When Caitlin Clark wins, it's gonna be awesome for her.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Larry Bird to me, where are some players in the WNBA resentful of Caitlin Clark because she's getting a lot of attention as a white woman, whereas the WNBA is predominantly black, and there have been a lot of great black players over the years that haven't gotten the same attention that Caitlin's gotten. Yes, they probably find some resentment in that, and they're upset about that, just like a lot of NBA players were upset at the media attention around Larry Bird.
Isaiah Thomas said it before
Yes.
an NBA Finals, and Larry Bird won the NBA Finals.
Yes.
Won 3 MVPs, and no one can say shit about him.
And what Caitlin's done up to this point has been, it's not because she's white that she's getting that. She's really fucking good.
Yeah.
She set the all-time record for points scored in college. She's pretty good on her own, regardless of her race. But once she gets to the WNBA, she gets her legs under her, and she becomes the star that people think that she's going to become. Guess what? A lot of that hatred is going to fade away from being like, oh, I'm mad that this white woman is taking attention from the predominantly black WNBA. And it's going to be just competition against each other, and I don't like her because we're competing against each other, but God damn it, do I respect her because she wins.
Anyone who's jealous like this, it's almost a compliment, because you're basically you're essentially saying, I know that she's a problem. I know that she's going to be really, really good. It's like when in the Final Four, when the all UConn broadcasts and like Diana Taurasi and all them were like, oh, she's going to find out when they get to the WNBA. They're threatened because she's young and better. And so it's like, this is how sports work. And then when she beats them, she's going to get the last laugh. All right, play this clip.
But, I mean, you want to talk about a can't win the big one conversation.
Caitlin Clark
can't win the big one.
Cannot win the big one. All right, this is from LeBron's rookie year. This is Carlos Boozer and his other teammates.
We have better players than him in his position already on our team, bro.
And he would come in and make an immediate impact like a Caron Butler. I don't think you can really just bring a high school player in and really just think your team gonna really turn around like that. If he come, you know what I'm saying, he can just hop on our bandwagon.
Yeah,
this is like, this is what happens when someone gets hyped and they show up. There's gonna be resentment because she's better than them. LeBron was better than them. Also,
if you're playing in the NBA, you're used to playing against grown men every single night. You probably would look down on a high schooler too and be like, this league is very, very tough. I don't know that a high schooler can come in and do it. You're gonna hate on youngsters. Guess what? That's what old people do. And if you're a youngster out there listening to this, one day you're gonna become old and you're gonna hate on youngsters too.
Yep.
You're gonna say right now, no, I'm never gonna be a hater. Guess what? Time makes haters of us all.
All of us. I just want sports to be sports. I'm just sick of when Caitlin Clark has a game, we just have to have everyone argue about culture.
Yeah. You're
gonna ruin the game. You're gonna ruin the sport.
We got 3 more think pieces coming today on Slate about Caitlin Clark and what she means.
We must protect her.
The problem with Caitlin Clark.
It is very funny when people are like, well, she got him that plane. Why would they not like her? It's like, because she's fucking better than them and they're competing.
Yeah.
Why would they?
It's a nice plane.
Yeah. They're competing against each other.
But guess what? Caitlin Clark gets to the league. Now the rest of the WNBA doesn't get to use their frequent flyer miles anymore and collect those sweet benefits on the back end. So fuck Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. It's quite something. All right. What else we got? We did have the Champions League, Real Madrid talking soccer. You want to talk soccer real quick?
Sure.
15th Champions League?
Yep. And Barcelona was the first to congratulate them.
Really?
You don't have to do that. If you're an official account of a team on Twitter, you don't have to congratulate your rival on winning a championship.
No. That's a total cuck move.
It is. They just did for the impressions.
Oh, that's lame. Why would they do that?
I don't know, but that was talking soccer.
So is Real Madrid the GOAT?
Real Madrid,
they're the best franchise?
Man United would always just say that they were.
15 is a lot. Feels like a lot. Is that the most?
I don't know.
Okay, let me look it up.
I'm a Super League guy myself.
Champions League.
Never forget that those 2 weeks that we had a couple summers ago.
Yeah. Most titles in Champions League history. Here we go. I got it. All right. We've got Real Madrid with 15, Milan in second place with 7. I'm going to say it. Real Madrid, the best ever.
Yeah, they're still
That's not even close.
still the best ever.
Barcelona has 5. Liverpool has 6. Bayern has 6. Come on. Are they bad for soccer?
Yeah, for sure.
They're for sure bad for
For
soccer.
sure bad for soccer, yeah.
Yeah. I missed the first half of this game. And then I saw the second half. Thrilling.
I saw the end. I saw the celebrations.
Yeah. As someone who missed the first half, I was able to bet over 1.5 goals in the second half. That was fun.
Did it cash?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good work.
I was like, I said, for anyone out there who might have forgotten that this game kicked off.
Again, soccer should just make goals worth 3 points.
Yeah.
And then everybody would be way happier. They'd be like, wow, what a high-scoring game.
Did you guys see probably the biggest story of the Champions League is Joel Embiid was there.
Yeah.
He got free time.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he's tall.
Who is he rooting for?
Real Madrid. Big
Okay.
Real Madrid fan.
He is?
Did you see there's a clip of him?
Wow, Max, what happened?
I was singing on Friday.
You
and
sang one song?
But it was one song loudly.
Yeah, it was.
Sang
It
it
was
really
loud.
well.
It was very loud.
It was loud. He
You
also
did crush it.
Max got on stage, and there was a guy that was waiting for Max in the front row, and he had 2 sodas in his hands ready to go, and Max saw him and just scowled at him and then paced around the stage like a tiger, circling his prey for a second, was like, fuck it, I'm going to chug those sodas, and then just ripped the sodas right off the bat.
You look like Jason Kelsey.
I know, it was the greatest. That was the greatest compliment that's ever been given.
Yeah.
Hank got booed.
Oh.
Did I?
You got booed. Well, it was a clap. It was a round of applause, and then you did like a little jump to show your vert, and then people booed your vert.
Oh, no.
I thought I just remember the cheers.
Okay, you remember the cheers. What were you going to say, Max, about Joel Embiid being at the Champions League because he's got time?
What? No, I didn't say that. I just said that he was tall. There was a clip of like
Oh, yeah.
two of the pregame guys on each other's shoulders to see if they were taller than Embiid.
When do you think he bought those tickets?
I don't know. He probably didn't pay for the tickets.
Probably. What about his air flight? Like his airfare? He probably bought his flight a couple months ago.
He's a rich man.
Probably a couple months ago.
He's a rich man.
He's a rich man.
Yeah, but he definitely had it planned.
Yeah.
They probably were like, hey, do you, like before the season started, they're like, hey, can you come do the desk, the Champions League? He's like, when?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Early June? I won't even, we could make it, you want to move it up a week? We do late May.
I think I'm going to be in Paris when the US plays, and it's going to be Embiid versus Joker. The one day that I'm there that US plays.
What?
Yeah.
Are you going to, wait, I forgot Embiid plays for us.
Yes.
That's kind of weird.
He plays for us.
I love it.
But I'll be fighting that fight from the front lines in France.
You'll be the big USA guy for him.
But not really, because you think there's going to be a lot of, like, it'd be better if it was us versus France.
It's what?
It'd be better if it was USA versus France.
But it's USA. But it's Embiid versus Joker.
You're just okay. So Embiid probably won't be playing.
No, he'll play.
Wait, is the game in altitude?
No,
0 altitude.
I don't know the
it's
altitude.
in Paris,
of
France.
Paris.
Let's see. It can't be 0 altitude.
Is it in Paris?
Let's see. Paris altitude.
No, I don't think it's actually in. I think.
Oh,
it's,
you better hope it's not in the Alps.
115 feet above sea level.
Where
buddy.
is the game? Are you going to go to the game?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If I can get I gotta figure out how to get tickets.
Game time.
Game time. Shout out game time.
Game time out.
Where is the game, Max? Because if it's more than 300, 400 feet altitude, there's no chance Embiid shows up.
If that game's in Burgundy, you're fucked.
Okay. He's getting it. He's getting this. I forgot we had this summer. That's going to rock.
The schedule might not be out yet
Oh, no.
because they have to do like pools.
No,
and
it
stuff.
is. It is because I looked at it.
You remember we learned about the Olympics because they did the sex bed thing, the no sex
Yes,
bed?
that's exactly.
That's how we found out about it.
Right. You're
Yeah,
right.
June 20. Wait. Fuck. Why am I at Arizona basketball?
All right, so wait, Max, is this pool play that we're talking about here?
This should just be a segment of Max tries to Google.
Is this pool play? It's
This
a pool
is bad.
game.
This is bad.
It's a pool game of USA versus Slovenia or whatever.
Serbia.
Serbia. If it's pool, I hope that the U.S. has already won and locked up our spot in the pool, and that
Lily.
Embiid gets
I found
dominated.
it. I found it.
I just said it. Lily. Lily.
Lily?
You better figure that out.
Oh,
Lille.
That's maybe the worst city for a Philadelphian to try to pronounce.
Lily.
Lily.
Lily. It is 82 to 147 meters. That's pretty big.
Okay, so 100.
So that's like 300 feet.
Yeah, that's almost
Woo!
almost a tenth of a mile high, almost.
So he'll probably not play.
Yeah.
That would be funny if he was like load management for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Especially if you got tickets to it. All right. Do we have anything else before we do Who's Back of the Week? Hey, Hank, any thoughts on WNBA?
No, I thought the cheering for the hit was the craziest part of the whole thing.
Agreed. They're jealous. They're very jealous. Anyone who pretends they're not jealous is crazy, but that's part of sports, is being jealousy.
I'm more likely to watch the next time they play.
Correct. And I do think that they should. I absolutely believe they should have to answer to it and be like, hey, we're jealous.
Yeah, they should say all the reasons they're pissed off.
Right.
They should be real about it.
But acting like Caitlin Clark got like maimed is pretty insane to me.
Yeah, it was a hip check, not super hard.
Yeah.
They retroactively upped it to a flagrant 1.
Got it.
After the fact.
Got it.
And then I think they fined Angel Reese $1,000.
Just a lot of money.
Not talking to the media.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Who's Back of the Week is brought to you by our friends at BetterHelp. Pardon My Take is sponsored by BetterHelp. When life goes so fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. It's always smart to make sure that you're keeping track of where your mentals are. You take care of yourself in the gym. You take care of your car. You take care of all these things in your life. Why not take care of your mentals and how you're feeling? Even if you don't think there's something wrong, talking to someone can make you feel better about your everyday life, better relationship-wise, everything with BetterHelp. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. So take a moment for yourself with BetterHelp. BetterHelp is there to help you, and it's so easy to get involved. Visit BetterHelp.com/PMT today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/PMT, BetterHelp, HELP.com/PMT. Super easy to use, super easy to sign up. You may think you don't need therapy. Well, everyone needs to talk to someone. We're taking care of our mentals in 2024. BetterHelp.com/PMT. We're also brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. The Coors Light is the drink of the summer. Shout out to the people who are ride or die fans despite multiple losses or bad draft picks. Choosing a chill mindset makes the day-to-day better. Life's too short to get worked up over small stuff. Choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light instead. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Hank, do it. Crack it open. Crack it open. Right next to you. There's not one right next. Oh, it's opened. Crack open a Coors Light. Is there one right there? Hey, crack it open into the just so we can hear it. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was great.
When you chill out, life gets better. Choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Send us those Coors Light mountains, the blue mountains on the cans and bottles. I've been retweeting them. There's nothing better on a Friday seeing those. It's summertime. It's time for Coors Light. Go check it out, CoorsLight.com/take, or order it online with Instacart. Hank.
My Who's Back of the Week is Common Men.
Oh.
Good.
In the golf tournament this weekend, Fluff, the legendary caddy Fluff, he got injured on the third hole. I think he fell down. And the golfer, C.T. Pan, just grabbed a random guy from the crowd, and he carried the bag for the rest of the day.
Toss.
Yeah. Just a legendary common man move. Just like, yeah, I'll take the bag.
Why don't we have emergency caddies like we do with the e-bug in hockey?
Because this never happens.
Yeah, but
it just happened.
It's not about it never happening.
Just happened.
It's like every round they should pick out the spectators before the game happens and just assign however many, like 70 different spectators. Like, if this guy goes down, you're stepping in. So that person has to just be at the tournament all day thinking, I might get in.
Well, this guy, he was perfect. He was perfect. You could just see that guy, like he could carry a bag, no problem. Haas. But I'm saying, like, before a tournament starts, let's just put like 3 dudes with cankles into like a horse barn and just have them standing there with their polo on, ready to go. Like, this guy was just central casting. He is built like a man who can carry a golf bag around for a long time. But yeah, put him in a horse barn. Do a live shot to him every now and then. These caddies are ready to go.
You think he was trying to give him reads?
Yeah, do you think they asked him, like, have you played this before?
I love the handshake.
Do we know how it happened? Like, how he picked this guy out?
I think
This
he
thing
literally
does
just
not
grabbed.
fit. He's trying to get it to fit.
He just grabbed the guy from the crowd.
Yeah, they said, sir, you look like you can carry a bag.
And they did. They picked a perfect guy.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd keep my mouth shut on like the first 2 holes, and then if he got a couple birdies, I would start tossing.
Remember,
some advice.
Jerry did this on the Corn Ferry Tour with Quade Cummins.
Paul Emerson is the guy's name. He hails from Ontario. Was traversing the par 4 third hole at Hamilton Golf and Country Club when he realized that CT Pan's caddy Mike Fluff Cowan had been injured and was unable to continue caddying. Pan's playing partner Shane Lowry was carrying his own bag, and Lowry's caddy Darren Reynolds was carrying Pan's bag. Wow, that's a
good move by Lowry.
Wow, awesome move. As Pan was walking Cowan over to a medic on the side of the fairway, Emerson asked Pan if he could lend a hand. Oh, so he just asked.
He just picked him out. He identified him.
Yeah, he said, I helped Fluff get the bib off, threw it on, and started walking up the hole. Pan was grateful for the support, and Emerson took the bag. He looped through the 5th fairway before a member of the caddy services team, Michael Campbell, stepped in. Campbell was replaced by Al Riddle. What the fuck? He had 4 caddies?
So it was like the head caddy that took over for this guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll get another guy in your bag soon.
That's awesome.
How hard is it to be a replacement caddy? I feel like a replacement caddy is the easiest job in sports.
We saw Scotty Scheffler's best friend do it on Saturday of the PGA Championship, and he shot his worst
Well, that's because he
round.
got arrested the day before.
No, he shot a 66 with his caddy on Friday after he got arrested.
Yeah, but he said it was a lot of adrenaline.
There's no way that having his best friend caddy didn't fuck him up on that
Definitely
Saturday.
did a little bit.
I think but I do think that on Saturday you wake up, you realize what happened. Yeah, you probably didn't sleep that well that night. But
he
I
shot like 66 every round except the one that he didn't have his caddy.
I think I would almost take just a no-name, just a random guy like this guy. I would take this guy over a friend, because a friend, you're probably chopping it up, you're telling inside jokes. There's too much history there. You need a guy that's just going to do the job. And this guy, this man right here, that's a man that can do the job.
Yeah. But no, he definitely wasn't giving him reads. He wasn't helping. No chance.
I would have just tossed one out there.
Yeah. Okay, PFT.
All right, good who's back, Hank.
Thanks.
Yeah, great who's back.
Appreciate it. This also in golf news, Kevin James is back because he's playing John Daly in a miniseries about John Daly.
Oh, hell yes.
I think Kevin James is just living out the dream. Just like I just want to do sports movies, and I want to play guys that I like to watch on TV.
Yeah.
So he did Sean Payton. Now he's doing John Daly. I actually think that playing John Daly in a movie is more physically draining than being John Daly in real life.
Yeah.
Like trying to get in that lifestyle. We tapped into that lifestyle for a little bit.
It wasn't nice.
Last week. That video is coming out Thursday, right, Max? You already have it ready to go, right? You just have to press the button.
What, the
John Daly
challenge?
challenge.
John Daly challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, but that
wasn't an answer.
To me, that's a cursed role, playing John Daly. Not every actor can do that. I don't care if they're prop cigarettes. I don't care if they're prop ice cold beers.
Yeah.
You're going to put your body through a little bit of
Method
hell.
acting.
It's like Jared Leto. I would like to see Jared Leto play John Daly and go full method on it.
Is Jared Leto the person you use for method acting?
Well, yeah, because he's the real psycho that everybody hates on scene.
So he's been replaced by Daniel Day-Lewis? Because Daniel Day-Lewis was the guy.
He's the guy, but Jared Leto is like a real
He's
weirdo.
the new guy?
He's a weirdo when he does
And
it.
then the guy before that was Tom Hagen. What was his name?
Burt Reynolds.
No. What was the actor's name?
Tom Hanks.
No. Tom Hagen.
Robert
Duvall. I'm pretty sure Robert Duvall.
He's method?
I think he was method because was he the coach in the program?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was.
There's Daniel Day-Lewis, big method guy. Jared Leto, he's just like an asshole method guy. And then the guy that plays Kendall Roy
Robert Duvall is not a method actor.
Okay, no, it's the other guy, Sonny. Give me
Al
Sonny.
Pacino?
No. Wait, what was your last thing you said there?
Jeremy Strong, the guy from
Yes,
from
he's a psycho.
Succession. He's a psycho method actor. But I think that if either one of those two guys tried to go method on the John Daly, try to get in character as him, I think they die before filming.
Yes, James Caan. James Caan, I believe. Can you look up if he was method acting? Because he was the coach in the program.
He was also the dad in Elf.
Yeah, that was method acting.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can tell. Method acting. Caan signed up for learned the method. We learned the method and stayed for 5 years. I don't know if that means it.
I don't think he's a method. The new Google searches are terrible.
Yeah.
The
AI? They're
Yeah.
so bad, dude.
They're really bad. Do you see that one where someone was like, "Can cockroaches live inside your penis?" And it's like, yes, it's very healthy to have a couple cockroaches living in your penis.
We won't eat the bugs. That's bullshit.
Well, if it's inside your penis, Hank.
They're
might.
trying to get us to eat the bugs.
Hank would be into that.
Yeah, that's true. Method acting in The Godfather. Marlon Brando. Yeah, see? James Caan. That was a stupid tangent. So it's just. Oh, did you see the picture of Tiger?
I did not see the
He's
picture.
looking old.
Tiger is old.
Yeah, but it's like one of those pictures that I think he probably will see and be like, "Fuck, I got to do something about this hair."
So yeah, you got to.
He was playing poker with Phil Ivey.
You gotta cut it. Tiger's been past that stage for a long time now.
I know.
Long time.
Still looks diesel.
Are we in the trust tree here? Yeah. We won't even include this in the pod. It might be time for me to come home.
Why? What? Shave your head?
Or yeah, cut.
You're so far away from shaving your head.
No, I don't know, man. I saw a bad angle the other day.
Of the back?
I saw a bad angle the other day. Yeah.
You wear a hat all the time. Maybe you should just get a hat with the
funny hair in it.
Yeah.
The spiky hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to go see Brian Urlacher.
Yeah.
We'll see. Something has to change. Something's changing before football season.
Just keep the hat on.
Yeah, but then it's bad. Then it's worse when you take the hat off.
I think that's.
I was in an airport a couple weeks ago, and there was a guy that was in front of me. He was about my height. He had about my length hair. He was maybe 5 years older than me.
Okay.
Real bald with long hair. And I was standing behind him the entire time, just thinking to myself, I'm never gonna.
But he looks sweet.
Maybe to himself.
Okay.
But I think everybody else was like, that guy needs to do something about that. I'm not gonna get. Oh yeah, Tiger does. Yeah. I mean, he looks jacked up though. He looks super strong.
I have a question. And this is not. I want it on the record. We love Charlie Woods. Tiger, if you ever want to come on the podcast, we'd love to have you on the podcast. Did Tiger ever do steroids?
You think?
Why doesn't it get talked about though?
Everybody was like, "Man, this guy is just."
I know, but
built
no
like
one
an NFL
says
safety.
it. No one says it.
He definitely
Just out of respect for him. Is it deference?
He definitely used it to come back from stuff. For sure.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there you go. You did. You had a. I mean, he.
Oh, yeah,
he definitely did it, and also his whole body type changed.
Yeah, we did. I forgot we did like an entire macrodosing on that. Yep. It has been talked about.
Okay. All right. There you go. He's maybe used steroids.
I think he, without a doubt, 100% used HGH to come back from injuries.
I like this. Maybe this is the summer of getting all of our goats. Secretariat, Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
They all use steroids. That's fine. Because did they even have testing? Tiger Woods people told us to shut up about his steroid use, ex-PGA star claims. Oh, well, that sounds like it's very reputable.
Yeah.
Not even Tiger Woods, his people.
I mean, you've never seen a golfer as strong as Tiger before.
No.
Bryson.
And his body
Bryson.
completely
Brooks.
changed, and then his body completely betrayed him.
Yeah.
And I know the whole Navy SEALs thing. I know that whole story. But yeah.
Do you think Bryson used gear?
Yeah, like Tiger is just as crazy of a before after as Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Pirates Barry Bonds and 49ers Barry Bonds. Okay, you have any other who's backs?
No, that's my who's back of the week.
Okay.
Why would? Yeah, there's no way they test for.
Yeah, I feel like they might have recently brought it in when it became an Olympic sport. I feel like that always happens, which is the dumbest thing ever.
If I was the PGA, I would never test for any drug.
No. Why?
Although it'd be so funny if a golfer got suspended for smoking weed. You remember they used to do that at the Olympics?
Yeah.
There was a snowboarder that got his silver medal taken away because he tested positive for weed, and they asked him about it. The smart move on this guy's part would just been like, yeah, dude, I'm a fucking snowboarder.
Yeah.
I smoke weed.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I was at a party 2 months ago, and I think I got some secondhand inhalation.
Yeah.
And I apologize. I would never smoke weed. Yeah, dude, you board on snow. You're high all the time. That's okay. You're still really good.
Yeah. That's the one sport you can do that. All right, my Who's Back of the Week is Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham got into it with the Brewers and then did a post-game press conference where he said that he trains for this and he will go after anyone who wants to go after him. Do you want to pull it up, Max? I have it right here. I could play it. Tommy Pham is about that shit. You don't want to fuck with him. Tommy Pham was the one who slapped
the fantasy football slap.
All right, listen to this. This is Tommy Pham after the game.
One-run ball game, close play at the plate. And actually, it wasn't even fucking close. It was a shallow fly ball to left field. You would expect the left fielder to throw the base runner out on that play, but the situation of the game, third base coach sends you, you got to go. I'm nailed out at home by a mile. I'm going to the dugout, and I hear the tough guy with all the hoorah shit. So I'll never start anything, but I'll be prepared to finish it. There's a reason why I do all kinds of fighting in the off season, because I'm prepared to fuck somebody up. So
Yeah.
Take it as what it is.
Yeah, it just kept on escalating. You're like, oh, this is routine. Like, I'm prepared to fuck somebody up.
Dude, I want to know what kind of hoorah shit this guy was on.
We also had in this game, I would understand that most of our listeners, not national audience, would know who I'm about to talk about, but it's been a big story in Chicago. John Schriffen, the announcer for the White Sox, might be the worst announcer ever. And he took over for Benetti, right? Who went to the Tigers.
Yeah, he went to the Tigers.
Wait, did John Schriffen go to Syracuse?
No.
Okay. This guy, he's trying really hard, but it's just everything is awkward. So this clip is just so awkward, if you can play it, Max, of him screaming about Tommy Pham. And he's had moments where he said something like, suck on that, losers. Even though the White Sox are one of the worst teams. So no one's paying attention to him, but it keeps popping up every now and then. So this is it.
He needs to drop as God is my witness. He's broken him in half.
Nah, we ain't taking that. Jake, he and the Oakland A's woman, they are 1-2 for the worst announcers in Major League Baseball.
Jake, what are your thoughts on the White Sox announcer?
What was that face, Max?
The JMU baseball game yesterday.
Oh, that was so bad as well.
That was horrible.
That was very bad as well.
What happened there?
The green, he likes greens. There's in the tree. It was bad. Ready for this? Oh, man.
Into one.
How about that? What a wild. That's wild. Put that on the wild.
Man. Jake is uncomfortable right now where the direction of this podcast in this moment.
We're talking broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't taking that. Also, the Brewers are way better than the White Sox.
Yeah, I like how he just threw in there. I don't care how many L's we got this year.
Yeah, no, because he knows.
Yeah.
He knows that they're very, very bad.
Also, how about Tommy Pham just completely throwing his third base coach under the bus?
Oh, big time.
Entirely, though.
But then he kind of you forget about it by the end when he's just like, I'll fuck him up.
I'll fuck somebody up.
Yeah,
and if my third base coach tells me something, I'll fuck him up too.
All right, Jake.
My Who's Back is Joey Chestnut.
Yes.
Obviously, the main event is the 4th of July, and we always see the press from the hot dog eating contests, but we had Joey Chestnut taking down some pints of ice cream at a minor league baseball game. We don't really see him do other competitions. So this wasn't even a competition, I don't think. I think it was just him doing it for fun.
Yeah, he was just pounding
I think 4 in a minute.
Pints of ice cream. You could tell, too, it kind of was giving him some brain freeze.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get brain freeze from that much ice cream for sure. I think he was also eating fried fish, too.
Oh.
The classic fried fish and ice cream combo.
Oh. Is that real?
Yeah.
That was the combo?
Yeah, I think it was fried walleye.
Oh, man.
So this is like the preseason for him, I guess.
Yeah, he's got to warm up.
All right, so what happened was he ate 4 pints of ice cream in 60 seconds, and then he ate 36 nuggets of fried walleye in 60 seconds.
Oh.
That's not good on the stomach.
Oh,
I hope he was diped up. I feel like that's just going to cut right through you.
he is. That's insane. Say it again.
He ate 36 fried walleye nuggets in 1 minute.
Oh,
And that's, I believe, right after he ate the 4 pints of ice cream.
oh man. Yeah, you'd want to do it reverse, I think.
Yeah, you eat the fried first. and
Yeah,
then
get the ice cream to cool you down.
Exactly.
Try to trick your body a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, did you guys see the story about this D3 school,
Yeah.
the baseball team?
Yeah, we talked about it on Friday, but they
made it to the College World
Yeah,
Series D3 and they lost.
Oh, they did lose. They won
Yeah.
on a walk-off the other night.
Yeah, to stay alive.
So they weren't really a school, right?
They had no longer been a school
They
after
closed
that.
Yeah.
a few days ago.
Yeah.
But they still had the baseball season.
Yeah. I don't understand how they couldn't have just added whoever they wanted.
Yeah, really. You're not a school anymore.
Right. Like Barry Bonds should have been homer at the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. Recruit anybody that you can. Anyone that got kicked off the team.
Yeah.
That would kind of rock to be just like, we are the school now.
Yeah.
Like, this is our school.
Did you guys also see, this is just a random story, but I saw someone noted that Jim McElwain, which, we know Jim McElwain, Central Michigan, not a shark fucker.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he's got a lifetime sponsorship with Coors Light.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
We need to get on that.
Pretty sick. They provide him with a Coors Light vending machine inside his house.
That's
They
awesome.
fill monthly.
That's awesome.
That's great.
We should get on that.
What a badass.
Lifetime sponsorship.
Yeah. We need that vending machine.
Let's do it.
Yes. Okay, let's get to our interview with CJ McCollum, and then we will do lottery ball and some wrap up after that.
We're going to get to CJ McCollum in a second. Before we do, he's brought to you by Game Time. Did you know that you can get tickets to White Sox at Cubs at Wrigley Field? We got a Subway Series, an L Series.
Red line.
Red Line Series, is that what they call it?
Red line, yep.
It's the Red Line Series. $41 to get in Wrigley Field, the friendly confines, best troughs in the urinal game at Wrigley Field. You can get in the 40s for all the games this week.
Okay, I think I'm going to go on Wednesday night.
Good price. I was just talking to Mark Titus about this the other day. At some point, I don't care who's playing. I just want to go to an afternoon Friday game at Wrigley Field.
Stolen time.
At some point, I'm going to do it. I'm going to use Game Time to get in. With Game Time, they are the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all the sports, music, comedy, theater events near you. They've got flash deals for sudden discounts, zone deals when you're feeling flexible, and their lowest price guarantee means that if you can find the same seats for less anywhere else, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. That's right, 110% of the difference. Game Time is the best place for last-minute seats, up to 60% off all your favorite events. What are you waiting for? We got people here that are going to go to that Red Line Series here in Chicago. I'm going to be at a game on a Friday afternoon, taking time off from work, going out to Wrigley Field. Nothing better than that. Nothing better than getting in for the low price with Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code PMT, get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PMT. Boom, you get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And now here's CJ McCollum.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest, recurring guest, a guest who we should have had on a lot sooner since the last time we had him on, because I think it was like a highly acclaimed This Guy Rocks interview that we did. It is CJ McCollum from the CJ McCollum Show from the NBA. He plays for the Pelicans now. Last time we had him on, he was on the Blazers. But CJ, I want to start by apologizing. Bad job by us, because the first time you were on, everyone's like, "We love CJ McCollum." I still get the Hezzy Hey tweets. So this was a bad job, but I'm happy that you're back on. We can talk about the finals and talk about some ball.
No, I'm happy to be back on, man. That was a good time. That was a really good time in my life too. We were in the city. I was young. I was on the Blazers, and now it's a good time in my life. I'm a little older. I'm in New Orleans, and I get stopped in the street when I'm in the city. People are Euro stepping me, hitting me with hezzy. You gotta go back on. You gotta go back on the pod. I'm like, eventually, I'm gonna get back on, man, for sure.
Yeah,
The step back to freedom.
Yeah,
that was
step back
another
to
one?
freedom.
That was another good one. Yeah, the people love CJ McCollum, and you're a wine mogul too.
Yeah,
I try, man. I try my best. You see me sipping some Chardonnay right now. For those that don't know, this is free promo, baby.
There we go.
51.com. I'm sipping some Chardonnay right now. We got Rosé, Chardonnay, Pinot, Blanc de Blanc.
Maybe you
whatever
can
you like.
maybe you can educate me because I'm not much of a Chardonnay guy. I'm more of like a Mad Dog 2020 guy myself. But I'll drink any kind of wine. But I always say don't give me the Chardonnay because I don't like the oakiness to it. What's a good like Fisher Price my first Chardonnay?
I can just send you one to keep it a buck with you, but I think the cool thing about Chardonnay is it's an acquired taste, and I didn't like Chardonnay for a long time. And we were in the bubble, and Mello had some white Burgundy, and Mello was like, "Yo, you got to try this white Burgundy." I'm like, "Mel, I like Pinots, I like Cabs, I like Bubbles, I like Rosé, but I'm not messing with Chard." He's like, "You got to try this white Burgundy." I tried the white Burgundy, and it was so fire. I was like, I gotta continue to figure out ways to try Chardonnays that are similar to this. And then I ended up making a Chardonnay in partnership with Adelsheim that is more reminiscent of white Burgundy. So not as oaky, as smooth. You can like living in New Orleans is mad hot. So figuring out the balance between when to drink Pinot and when to drink like more refreshing drinks like Chard and Rosé. But it's not for everybody. But if you drink the right Chard, it'll change your life.
Ooh.
All right, I might have to try.
Yeah. All right. So that's awesome that you're a father now too. So congrats on that. Yeah, a lot has changed. And a wine mogul. We wanted to have you on, talk a little ball, talk a little finals. Let's start with do you have an official prediction, and then we can kind of unpack from there and figure out how you got there and how both these teams got there?
Yeah. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Coach Weiss, who coached me at Lehigh yesterday while I was pushing the stroller. Crazy. I got 2 kids and I'm married and life is good. And I thought to myself, this is going to be a great finals. I got to get to a game. I got to get to a game in Boston. I got to try to get to a game in Dallas. I think it's Boston's series to lose. I think it's their series to lose. Kristaps should be back. They've had the best record all year. They got the Jays, right? Jason and Jalen. They got great role players. You know, they got great supporting cast. They got a coach who's fiery. I love Peyton Pritchard. I think it's their series to lose. Now I will say this though. I think Boston wins in 6, but if it's a 1 possession game, give me Dallas.
Yeah.
Boston's got to win by 2-3 possessions. They got to have a lead. You know, late in that fourth quarter, they got to have a comfortable lead. By comfortable, I mean multiple possessions, or they're in trouble because Luka and Kyrie are not to be played with.
Yeah. So what is it about Luka? We actually, I think everyone in this room has. I think I have Boston in 7. PFT has 5. Hank has 6. But what is it about Luka that makes him so impossible to guard? Because you've obviously played against him. Like what specifically does he do that is so elite compared to anyone else on the court?
I think it's a combination of things, man. Like he's heavy, right? You know, with respect to the heavy people out there, he's got good size.
That's a nice way of saying fat. He's heavy. Yeah,
no, but respect all. We do have heavy listeners, you know.
No, but heavy's like Drew Holiday's a great defender. Drew Holiday cannot, I don't think, can guard Luka for the entire series because Luka's heavy.
Luka is heavy, man, and he's a good, healthy heavy, like strong, sturdy. He's still quick. He has a great change of speed, great balance, great patience. Amazing step back, and he's not afraid of the moment. I think what a lot of people don't realize is Luka turned pro at like 13. Luka's been playing pro since he was, you know, a middle schooler, basically. He skipped a lot of steps compared to what we do in the States, and he began hitting big shots at 14, 15, 16 years old. Led his team to a EuroLeague championship as a youngster, right? Like he's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of the bright lights. He loves it. They play better on the road because I think he likes tormenting the crowd. And I just think from a versatility standpoint, he's like 6'8". I don't know his weight. I mean, he's got to be at least 245, maybe heavier. Healthy body fat, and he's in great shape. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people didn't realize is Luka is heavy, hard to guard. He can lean on you, he can post you up, he can get you on his back and make different types of moves around the paint area. He loves to step back. He's going to hunt matchups, but he's in great shape. He's hitting big shots down the stretch of fourth quarters, high usage. First quarters are basically his. Kai takes over second and third, and then it's take turns in the fourth. But, I mean, he's a wizard with the ball. He's going to have high volume, and there's a reason why he averaged 35 points a game, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, basically 35, 10, and 9. He can control the entire game for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
He's also very good at drawing fouls too. He draws contact in a very, very smart way that I don't think a lot of players are on his same level in terms of knowing when he's about to get fouled, getting them off balance, and then using that while still like maintaining his own shot form as best as he can to try to get a 3-point play out of it. Like he's not. Sometimes you see guys that like set up the foul but he sets it up in a way where he makes sure that he has a good look at the basket after he gets fouled too. Is that something that going into it, like he's going to try to get you off balance?
Yeah, it's like a running joke. Like him and B, a lot of those guys, they start the game with 8 to 10 points, right? You know they're going to have 8 to 10 free throws. They basically establish rhythm early. You can't touch them. They manipulate the defense the entire game. They can get you on their hip. They got pump fakes. They got pivots. They got pump fakes. They got pivots over and over again as the game progresses. And then it's about game plan discipline when you're going against those types of guys. And you can't get frustrated on tough makes. You know, it's a make or miss league, and there's going to be a lot of tough makes throughout the game. There's going to be a lot of questionable situations in which he's, you know, maybe foul baiting or whatever they like to call it, quote unquote. But he's a smart player. He knows how to get what he wants out there. And once he gets you off balance, it's all she wrote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And obviously they've got two great players. The two guards are going to be impossible to stop both of them. You just can't do it. You, like you said, you have to build a lead, not let them get to a late game situation where they can put the ball in one or two guys' hands and win it. But in terms of the role players on Dallas, who do you think is the most important outside of Kyrie and Luka?
I mean, I like Derek Lively. I mean, obviously they got other guys. You know, PJ Washington has been great. Gaffney's been great. I think this may be a Tim Hardaway Jr. series. But if you really look at the last series in terms of what changed the game, is their ability to defend. You know, basically switching 1 through 4, sometimes 1 through 5. Kyrie was great defensively, but Lively really was amazing, right? I think he didn't miss a shot in the conference finals. He altered tons of shots. He continues to put rim pressure on the defense by his ability to roll and get behind the defense and pick and rolls. When Luka and Kai come off, he always finds himself behind the defense. If they switch, he makes them pay with lobs and offensive rebounds. But I think he's a huge, huge piece because not only is he great at finishing around the basket, but he makes great decisions in the pick and roll. When they hit him in the pocket, he's one of the best on their team at figuring out when to drive, when to go weak side and kind of connect. And he made a killing throughout this playoffs on just playing smart basketball and being athletic.
Yeah. All right. So, and then the Celtics, it does feel like they're the favorite, but it's kind of twisted into like they can say they're the underdog just because people are like, hey, look, they had no one to play in the East. They ran through it. They haven't been tested, so to speak. I still think they're the better team, but is there anything to say for the fact that they haven't had like that tough playoff series where they've been pushed to make some changes and counteract and like, all right, you threw this at us, now we got to throw this at you. Is there any reality to that, or is that just completely overstated and it doesn't matter, they handled their business?
I think it's completely overstated for them, mainly because of the fact that they've all been there before. Right. Outside of the guys in rotation, this team has been to the conference finals 5 out of the last 7 years. They were in the finals 2 years ago. They had a lead on the champion Warriors, and their experience, like they know what it takes to win a series. They know what it takes to lose a series. It's not like shell shock, like, oh my goodness, we're in the finals. Like, oh, I've never seen this before. They've been here before. And the second time around, it's when you really earn your stripes, right? Like the first time around, it's all new, it's fresh. You're trying to figure out the balance between tickets for family, like going through all of that stuff. Not that I've played in it, but I've been to the finals and I see how much media is credentialed. I see how many interviews they got to do. It's open practices. It's like the Super Bowl. It's a big show up into the game. And I think if you're not used to it, it can be mentally and physically draining. I think they've all trained for it. They all have a better understanding of how they had to kind of prepare for this. They got a champion on their team in Drew Holiday. Derek White played for the Spurs. He's been across the league. Like he's mature. The Jays, obviously, Kristaps Porzingis has played all across Europe. He's been in the NBA. He hasn't played in like a real big playoff moment like this, but I think playing with all those guys, it's helpful. And I really don't think it matters. If anything, they're just going to be more fresh, more ready to go, home court advantage. The jitters will be gone by the first time out, like Draymond said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any sort of advantage that they're going to get because Kristaps hasn't played in a long time? So Dallas doesn't have any like fresh tape on him. Is that going to make any difference whatsoever? Like they haven't seen that look in the last couple of weeks.
That's a good point. I think.
Good point.
Thank you.
I think it's a coin flip, right? Like because Boston has played well without guys all year. They've been without Porzingis. They've been without Drew Holiday at times. They figured out a way to kind of just keep moving. Al Horford is a vet. He's a pro. He's going to figure it out. He's going to hit big shots. He's going to defend. I'm really just worried about Kristaps because he hasn't played in so long. Like, he's just jumping into the finals. Like, if you really think about that, that's the part that's going to be interesting. And I'm not talking about offensively. I'm talking about defensively, conditioning-wise, having to guard Kyrie and Luka in switches constantly. You know, everybody talks about Kyrie's return to Boston, which is great. And it's going to be fun to see, like, the response that he gets and how he kind of plays through that. But Luka and Porzingis played together, and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
I think if you know anything about Luka, he takes things very personally, and this is a chance for him to to really beat a guy he played with and wasn't able to necessarily get over the hump with.
Yeah. So, all right. So the injury thing is an interesting one because we're sitting on our couch. We're idiots. I'm always like, oh, why do they need, like they've been practicing Kristaps been practicing for the last 2 weeks. He should be fine. But what is the difference in between if you're coming back from injury, practicing and then getting into actual game minutes and like how quickly you get tired when you make that transition?
Yeah, it's tough. And I've been fortunate or not so fortunate to have some injuries, but been able to come back from them and transition into return to play. And it's difficult for everybody. And it's one thing to return to play in a regular season game. It's another thing to return to play in the playoffs. And it's a whole nother level up to return to play in the finals, where no matter what type of conditioning you're getting, no matter what type of live contact you're getting, those stakes aren't the same, right? Like you can't simulate a switch with Luka going against, the backups in Boston or going against the coaching staff or the player development staff in a conditioning league game where it's basically a lot of guys that aren't in the rotation. And then you're mixing in some coaches. You're getting switched on to Kyrie on the main stage for all the marbles for the 18th banner in Boston. Mm-hmm. Like, this is completely like there's no comparison. And I think he'll be fine because he's a pro and he's had a lot of time to kind of adjust. And the way he plays, he shoots jumpers, he posts up a little bit, he dunks. They got a lot of help. It's not like they're just going to say, Kristaps, go win us the game. Like, he's going to be playing on a good team and kind of playing a role. So that'll make things easier. But it's just difficult to translate. And I think it's going to take some time from a rhythm standpoint. But also for Boston's rotation, they just went through 3 series without him, right? The rotation was set. Guys are playing heavy minutes. Starters are playing basically 40. Al Horford was great. He hit 7 threes in one of those games. Like, they're going to have to change the rotation. And I'm just curious to see how the players respond to that from a rhythm standpoint, as they were used to something and now there's going to be a little change.
Yeah. So if you're coming back from injury and your conditioning isn't to the point where it should be if you had played like an entire season without this time off, what does that look like in a game? And I'm not talking about like putting your hand up being like, coach, take me out for a little bit. I'm tired. Because I assume that guys, if they're in the NBA Finals, a lot of times they want to stay in the game no matter what. But what does that look like for a player when they're getting tired? Like, what's the first thing that goes? Like, for me, if I'm playing pickup, I just kind of stop guarding. I just kind of stop playing defense entirely. And I hope that my guy doesn't run around too much. Or I'll like be like, hey, I got to tie my shoe. That sort of thing. But like, what does that look like in a game?
It's actually hilarious. You're stalling. Yeah. I think similar in the NBA, right? Like, you just more turnovers, bad passes, bad misses. Instead of like a close miss, they're just bad air balls, wide left, wide right, super long, longer timeouts, dumb fouls. Like, you'll just start to see like, oh, like that was a stupid play. Like, oh, he must be tired. Like, the fatigue is kind of kicking in. But I think historically, especially when you get to this stage, when you're coming off an injury, you're either on a minutes restriction or they change the substitution patterns. Where when I came back from an injury, I had a collapsed lung. I've had broken foot, broken back, torn popliteus. You usually know, like, all right, I got a 4-minute stretch right here where they're going to play me 4 minutes, and then I'm coming out. I'm coming out. First foul, first timeout, whatever, I'm coming out. And when you come back from an injury, you have to govern yourself the way you look at them. And like a couple times this year, I came back against the Sixers, and I was on a minute restriction, and I was like, I'm good. Like, let me go. And it was like, no, it's 26 minutes. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And I played like a 6.5 or 7-minute stretch, and it was supposed to be 5. And at the 6-minute mark, I was like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or I was like, yo, foul. Somebody,
right.
Yo, somebody take a foul. Like, we need I need to come out of this game before I mess this up for everybody.
Yeah. My move is I just yell, someone stop ball, and then I pick up whoever switches, and I just hold their shirt. And I'm just like, let's just hang out and not walk all the way back.
It's like, don't be a hero, man.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just hang out here for a second, and then we'll get back when we get back. Who's the one guy in the NBA who has like a motor that you can't believe, that like doesn't come out of games, but also just never gets fatigued?
I would say Steph's got really good conditioning. He just always running around chewing his mouthpiece. And
yeah, how annoying is that when he just won't stop running?
Chewing his mouthpiece, laughing, dancing, shimmying. It's really frustrating, but you can just tell like he prides himself on conditioning, hard work, reps. I'd say the most JJ Redick, when JJ played, like the first quarter was insane. Just plays for him, illegal screens from DeAndre, illegal screens from Blake. CP and him would just give him the ball for like 5 straight minutes, then he would touch the ball for 3 quarters. The one that like was super impressive, Russell Westbrook. So
Yeah.
prime Russ when he played like 37 to 42 minutes a game. And, when he was in triple-double mode, he played so hard for so long. It was impressive because he's just rebound, pushing, yelling, screaming. And people don't understand, like, it takes energy to yell and scream. Like, a couple times I over-celebrated. And I was like, damn, I'm tired. I shouldn't have did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes away your energy. But, like, this guy, his motor is unbelievable. For 82 games, like, playing in the middle of nowhere, he could be playing pickup game in the backyard. Like, his energy is always at a level that's super impressive.
Yeah.
I feel like Luka gets stronger the angrier he gets. Like he's expending energy, right? He's using calories to yell at people, but he feeds off that. It amps him up.
Yeah, he said he feeds off of that. Hookah Luka. I think if you really look at how his career's kind of progressed, he came in like baby face, a little thin. He started eating good in the neighborhood. That American food started treating him well. And then he came back a couple years where you see him training, running stairs overseas in Slovenia, running the stairs. And you see his game kind of go to another level in terms of the range on his jumper, the step backs. Even in that last series against the Timberwolves, he started the game hitting like 30-footers.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was sending a message. Like, I really been working on my craft. Like, I'm really about to just take over this league. And this is an impressive run. And people don't remember, Jay Kidd said he was already better than Dirk. He's 25 years old, and Dirk has the logo. They got a picture of Dirk shooting a fadeaway
Right
on the court, and they're already talking about he's better than Dirk, and he ain't want to run yet. And Dirk beat the king.
Yeah,
He could powers like. So this is telling you how special this kid is. Like this man is a real problem, and he's still not really in his prime. He's only 25.
Yeah, that is true. It is crazy. He's only 25. I mean, Jason Tatum also, 26 or 25 as well. Do you think Jason Tatum's disrespected, or is it that he's right where he kind of needs to be? And if he can, because this could be the summer of Tatum. If he wins this championship, and then he's going to go play in the Olympics, and then I think he's up for the Supermax right after. Like, this could be a hell of a 4-month stretch for Jason Tatum.
Yeah, this is huge for him and his legacy. And I think he's a Hall of Famer or whatever. You can more 50-point games than Larry Bird, more career playoff points than Larry Bird, 5 straight trips to the conference finals, 2 finals appearances. This is the one they probably win. I think he's where he needs to be right now because he doesn't have the ring yet, and people kind of like really value the ring. Those that are like real hoopers know Tatum is good. I think the casual fan is anti-Boston. Like, a lot of people just hate that he plays in Boston and that they have so much respect and everything that comes with that. But I think if you're like a normal fan, like who really understands the game, or if you hoop against him, Tatum is cold-blooded. You respect him. You respect Jaylen Brown, and you understand that they have a good team. And when you're on a good team, you're held to a higher standard. They expect you to, like he said before, like they expect you to basically win every game. And it's almost as if he's supposed to win this championship as opposed to him like going and taking it. It's like he's supposed to win, and if he doesn't, he got beat by Luka. And it's like the narrative is going to shift as opposed to saying like he had a great year. They won 64 games. Jaylen Brown is the highest paid player in NBA history, and he's about to become the highest paid player in NBA history. And then you're going to have 2 of the highest paid players in NBA history on the same team. Banner 18 in Boston, 2 black guys. Like if you really think about it, like it's a really cool situation for the Celtics and their fan base to be able to say, like, we have a great young core who we weren't sure was going to work. Now it's working, and we're this close to winning a championship. And if the worst thing you can say about them is that, Jason doesn't get enough love, but he just averaged 30 and he was first team All NBA.
Right.
Like, what more do you want?
Yeah, and I think, it is the dumbest thing we do as sports fans. I am definitely guilty of it. I think we all are, where if, like, you play on a better team, you then get taken something away from you, where it's like, well, wouldn't you want the best players to, like, play on the best teams? Like, I'd rather see that than have, like, an incredible player struggle with just no one on their team, and you have to sit there and be like, well, I think they're really good, but they just got bums around them. So it's a weird thing we do where it's like, oh, he has too much help. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, I would equate it to like football, like Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders in Detroit. And then you look at the flip side, Christian McCaffrey, right? Like how he was viewed before he got to the Niners. It's like, oh, he's great, but they lose all the time. And it's like, well, yeah, his team's not very good.
Yeah.
Then you go to the Niners and it's like, oh, it's not fair. He has all of these weapons. And I'm like, no, he's still a monster. He's just in a better situation. It's not his fault that they got great linemen, a great defense, great threats at the receiver spot. Like, he's still a monster. It doesn't change that.
Yeah, it's actually the Barry Sanders versus Emmitt Smith.
It happened at the same time.
Yeah, where it's like, there were Emmitt Smith people. It's like, how could you be an Emmitt Smith person if you have your eyes and a brain in your head? Like, yeah, he has the rings and he has the records, but like Barry Sanders is incredible. That's what he does.
Yeah, so we're going to get back to CJ McCollum in a second. Before we do, he's being brought to you by Chevy. As everyone knows, this is a Chevy truck podcast. The greatest trucks ever built and our good friends at Chevrolet have been a big part of my take story. From the Silverado that helped us dig the biggest hole ever dug in Ohio during Grit Week, to the Silverado partnering with us to give college fullbacks all the rightful recognition that they deserve with the Lowman Award, the sweetest trophy in college football. They also powered our nonstop cross-country trip to the Super Bowl in L.A. It was behind the wheel of a Chevy Silverado. We love Chevy. We are a Chevy truck podcast through and through, up and down. Chevy Silverado, longtime awesome partner of the show, a truck with commanding and unstoppable grit, legendary capability, dependability too. I love Chevy. Go check out our Chevy dealership today. Get behind the wheel of a Silverado, see how it feels, drive past a mirrored window, look at yourself behind the wheel and say to yourself, I'm a truck guy, I'm a Silverado guy, I'm a PMT guy. This is the truck for me. Find out for yourself. Like so many other AWLs, head to Chevy.com. Check out all the Chevy truck grit. Build your own Silverado for do-it-yourself projects to road trips, off-road adventures to tailgates. Whatever your thing is, it all starts with a Chevy truck. And now here's more CJ McCollum. You were talking earlier about some guys setting some pretty devastating illegal screens. From your perspective, because the NBA is all about responding to, like, switching on screens, pick and rolls. That's, to me, like the teams that have the most success consistently. That's usually how they do it. Who's the best at setting illegal picks?
Shout out to my boy Nurk in Phoenix. Nurk is illegal. Draymond, one of the best illegal screeners of all time. Take it back a little bit. Omar Asik, he was a good screen setter. What's the big fella's name in Minnesota who had the huge head? He played with Kevin Love. He was a great screen setter. Looking at like today, it's funny because there's not a lot of actual fives. Shout out to my guy JV. JV is a great legal screen setter. He's had some really, really good screens. There's not a lot of true fives.
What about Bam? Bam gets real wide on his screens.
Bam gets wide on the screens, but he likes to get out. He likes to slip out so he can get dunks. He will make contact when it's there. I'm trying to think. It's not a lot of, like, when Zebo played, when Marc Gasol played. Those were like, when I first got into the league, that's when you had real fives. We had 7'4" four men who posted up. I played with Robin Lopez, great screen setter. LaMarcus was a really good screen setter, especially when he could, roll to that midi and knock it down.
Boogie was a good screen setter too.
Boogie was a good screen setter.
Are there ever times when you're playing in a game that someone forgets to yell out a screen?
Yeah, all the time.
Really? All right, yeah, because I mean, that I didn't know if like that was like so. You guys are obviously you're so fucking good, but like it will happen. Not to relate it to pickup, but it will happen in pickup, and you'll be like, "Where the fuck? Why didn't you just say there's a screen?" You just get absolutely crushed. So what happens when someone forgets to yell out that there's a screen coming?
It depends on who didn't yell it out, right? Like if it's one of the OGs or a vet, like somebody that historically yells it out and you either didn't hear him or they forgot, and then you kind of give them a pass. But it was like depending on the type of player, you're gonna be like, yo, like you can't be leaving me out here like that. Like that's
Right.
like you're gonna get me hurt or something worse could happen. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you pick it up and you turn it and they got that blind screen in the backcourt to try to knock you out. Like that's the type of screen back in it. Like somebody like Patrick Beverly, right? Patrick is picking up full court. You want to get a blind screen on him just to get him off the guard to kind of free you up. And those are the times where, if you got the ball, you're just trying to set him up and run him right into the screen. And if you're guarding the ball, you want somebody to yell out like, screen, come and get back or something. But it's happened. I've been hit a few, like it's happened. And you just looking like, who was closest? Like, bro, why you call it out, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
when you're on offense, have you ever called out fake screens? Like throwing them off their game, be like, pick right, switch.
Yeah, CP put me on game to that. He used to do that all the time, or he would point like, set it right there, and then just take off. And I was like, motherfucker, like nobody is there.
Yeah.
A few times, and I played against guys where a lot of teams will say black or red, like there's a call for switch, and the other team would run up and be like black.
Yeah.
And you'll think if you're guarding, like you'll think that you're supposed to switch, and it's the other team calling it. I've seen that happen a lot of times, which is funny. And then you break down the coverage, and you're like, "Yo, I heard the call, but it wasn't your teammate calling; it was the other team." So stuff like that, just trying to manipulate the game and get an advantage, is an important part of the game for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you play with Jose Alvarado. Does he do his Grand Theft Alvarado thing in practice, and how much does that piss everyone off?
He does. He tries to do it in practice all the time. He picks up hard. Good dude though. Works hard, man.
Oh, it's awesome when he pulls it off, but I would imagine if he does it in practice, it would piss you off.
Yeah, I mean, he's never gotten me with that in practice before, but he does pick up full in practice. He's talking trash. He's getting after it. He's gotten a couple back tips, but the Grand Theft Auto, I think my favorite one is the one he got on Bron. He got Bron, and Bron was pissed. I see him. He was pissed, like looking around his teammates, like.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's what you gotta call it out. Someone's gotta call it out, but they don't see it. What I can't remember if when you first came on, I asked you this question, and maybe I did, and it's just a repeat, but I don't care. When you were playing with Dame in all these big time moments, did you know when it was Dame time? Could you was there something that flipped in his head or his eyes, or would he say, "Hey CJ, just so you know, it's Dame time," or look at your watch?
Sometimes you can see the look in his eyes, or just time and score, feeling the game out, feeling the momentum, or depending on what play he calls. Sometimes he'd be calling the game, we'd be calling plays back and forth, and then he'd call diagonal fist, or he'd call a play which diagonal fist for us was basically a wing goes and sets a screen for the 5-man. The 5-man runs up into a mid pick and roll, and he kind of gets downhill or he shoots a 3. When he started calling his own plays or his own number, or no play, and he just pulls up from 40, I'm like, yeah, he about to turn up. Or if it was a momentum swinging play, right? They hit a shot, he gets a layup and one, and he starts celebrating, or he yells, because he never really celebrates until the game's over. If he yells or motherfucker, he starts doing that, I'm like, oh yeah, he about to get in his bag. He about to really turn up. And then he might start tapping his wrist, about to get serious.
And there's nothing you can do when it's Dame time. Nothing you can do at all. What's the farthest you ever saw him pull up from in practice?
Half court. He shot the ball from half court in practice a lot of times, or a step in front of half court, just coming off natural shot, not even throwing the ball. Impressive, man. He gets really good flexion on the wrist, good dip, strong ball, just kind of flows off. It's an effortless shot.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
It's crazy to watch. Yeah.
I got some New Orleans questions for you. First question, how awesome is it to be the man in New Orleans?
What does that mean?
Just you're the man. You are a star. You're on the Pelicans. You live in New Orleans, which is probably the coolest city in the United States. Just how awesome is it?
I live a good life, man. I'm thankful. I'm blessed to be in a position where I get to play a sport. I get to be in a place like New Orleans that's hungry for success. Great culture, great community, great food, great drinks, depending on what you like, heavy on the French influence. And to be able to go from, where we were at before I got here to 2 out of 3 years making the playoffs, to really just kind of improving. I think we had the second most wins in franchise history. Obviously, this is Saints country, right? But It's a blessing to be able to play here. My family and I love it, and like you said before, man, I'm just trying to take advantage of the blessings, work hard, and just trying to get us in a position to go on a real run, man. We need health. We need a lot of things to kind of go our way, but I think we're right there, man. We're close to making a real run eventually.
Yeah, you said the food. If I lived in New Orleans and I was on your salary, I would be fat as shit. I would eat so much.
Not fat, heavy.
Not very sturdy.
Heavy.
I would be a sturdy man.
Yeah.
Sturdy, heavy and strong, man. I think it's balanced, man. Like nothing is perfect. You got to figure out. I always say 80-20 rule, man. Like 80% 20. I'm more like 90-10. I love French fries. I like gumbo. I eat out once or twice a week, but Chef Joy be holding me down and just making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But it's easy to venture out and eat some things you're not supposed to eat, especially out here.
Yeah. I read an article that you, after the season, you do 21 days, no basketball. Now, does that, like, if you were walking, like you were saying you were walking, with the stroller, if you're walking by a park in the 21 days and a kid's playing and they're like, CJ, take a shot, you won't do it?
That's a tough dilemma. So, like, I don't work out. So, like, shooting, I don't count shooting. So, like, if a kid was like, shoot the ball or whatever, I'd shoot it. Or like them old school commercials, I might try to go dunk it if the court was low or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, 2 weeks into my break, I took my son to the gym, and it was just way too hot outside. And he was like, too hot, Dad. So I took him to the gym, and he's like, ball, Dad, ball. So I started shooting. That was in my slides, but like I don't count that because I'm not actually working out. I'm just messing around, like just playing with my son, having fun.
Yeah.
I don't count it.
Okay, that's like that's the height of my workout, so that's good. You're like, I don't count shooting. It's like if I shoot, we have our basketball court here. I shoot 100 jumpers. I'm like, man, that was a hell of a workout.
Yeah.
that was my whole day.
Got my cardio.
Yeah, I really did it.
Yeah.
I really did it.
100 is crazy. That's it.
I'll do more. It just depends on the time I have. We get the machine, so we'll fire it up.
Yeah. What do you?
You got a gun?
Yeah, we got the gun. Yeah, we got the gun.
What do you consider a workout? How many shots?
100 would not be a workout. Like
shit.
I mean, my warm up is like 100 makes just to get loose.
Okay.
So
shit.
How many do you make when you shoot?
I'll make like 50 of them.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'd say like 300 plus, depending on time. Like if I'm doing a 45-minute workout, unless it's 10 or 15 minutes of ball handling, I'm getting 400 to 500 easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy, and that's like movement. That's off the bounce. That's catch and shoot. I might finish with 100, 150 makes.
This might be a dumb question, but have you ever gone shooting and just one day you suck at basketball? You're just not good.
You have days where you don't shoot the ball well. Like I've had days, and it's funny because like the casual won't understand. Like getting in the gym with a pro, and it's completely different. Like a bad shooting day for me, I'm probably making 65% of my shots, and that's like I'm bricking. Nobody in the gym, empty gym. 65% of make like is a bad day. Like I'm hitting 8, 9 out of 10. Like those are like normal days. If we do 100 threes, a bad day, I'm making 75 out of 100. That's like a terrible day. Like that was a bad, like my second workout, I hit 75 out of 100. It was a terrible day.
Yeah.
And that was after like 21 days. Like if normal day, 80 plus out of 100, and I'm talking threes. When I'm shooting how I normally shoot, 90, 92, 93 out of 100. And like a normal NBA player, empty gym, jumper is wet. Like jumper is wet. You put them in like fans, whatever, like that's going to change the game a little bit. But even like guys that miss free throws down the stretch of games, like big men that can't make free throws, like historically pick a big man, put them in an empty gym, cash.
Yeah. That's when we had the whole NBA NFL argument, and it's a dumb argument that we should save for the middle of summer, but that was the one thing I kept going back to. I was like, if you've ever had the luck of watching an NBA player shoot in an empty gym, they literally do not miss. It's not like this is like they will shoot and they'll take 100 threes and they'll make 95 of them, no problem. Like that's the level that that's the baseline of like their shooting ability, and that's like everyone on the entire team. Even the last guy on the bench is still an incredible shooter.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a tough argument because like every NFL player can't hoop in the league, and every hooper can't play in the NFL. But there are some NFL guys that could come over, and there's some NBA guys that could slide over to the NFL. It's not to say one sport is harder than the other, or whatever the case may be. There's just some incredible athletes in this world. Like there's some DBs, there's some receivers that like I done seen hoop, and I'm like, oh, he got game. Like he's nice. And there's some guys that I've seen that are just freak athletes, like Bron and some of those guys where you're like you telling me Zion can't go play football? Like, Zion could go play football if he really wanted to. Like Bron could go play. Russ, there's some guys that could go play football, and there's some NFL guys that could slide over and be a shooting guard or a small forward. I've seen some of those guys shoot the ball. I've seen some of those guys that are athletes. The quarterback from Florida. Like I've seen some of those guys move and dunk and jump, and they'll be all right. Yeah. The hard part is, the contact, figuring out like for the NBA guy that goes to the NFL, like which is he a DB? Is he a wide receiver? Because everybody ain't trying to go across that middle. That is a different ball game.
So talk about the difference in shooting when there's an arena filled with fans. There was a very funny video that went viral last week, and it was like a guy pretending to be an NBA player, and he's like, "Oh, I don't shoot well on the road. The fans are mean, and they're saying I'm bad when I'm trying to shoot." What is it about shooting in front of a hostile crowd that makes you worse at shooting? Like, ultimately, is it just not being comfortable with the gym, or is it people saying you suck? Is it people booing you? Why are players worse on the road than they are at home?
I think it's a combination of things. I think it's not familiar territory. Like your routine is different. You're sleeping in a hotel. Pre-game meal is different. If you got a chef, travel, you're on a bus. Everything is a little different. And it's not a gym you shoot in every day. And then I think the factor of it's something psychologically when someone cheers for you versus when someone boos for you, especially when you shoot. But the funny part is most of our team this year in New Orleans shot better on the road than they did at home. And we had the best road record in the NBA. I think we went 28-14 or something like that. And my numbers side by side, I shot better from 3, better from 2 on the road. So it's just a matter of like routine, what you do, how much time you have. I think at home, for me personally, like I shoot more at home to try to get ready for home games than I do on the road. And I shoot better on the road. I get less reps, probably get more sleep. But I think I get less reps for sure on game days. At home, I stay after I shoot. I go do like a shooting drill. On the road, you got like 15 minutes on the clock before you can kick out of the gym because they got to set up for something else or the other teams. So I think it's a combination of things that factor in. But it's something about being booed, like, as opposed to like, imagine when you shoot a 3 and they're like 3, and then when you shoot 3, they're like, you suck. You at the free throw line, they booing you, they talking about your mama, talking about your daddy, like whatever the case may be. And at the crib, they cheering for you until like something doesn't go right, and then they might flip the switch on you depending on what market you're in.
Yeah. I was just gonna say in Philly they start to boo you, but then they start to be nice to you to get you out of a slump.
True.
And then you turn into a really good player.
True. Great
sports town. Yeah.
What's the status of your beef with KD? That I think it's long since squashed, but we actually had a part in the original beef because you coming on our show started that a little bit.
That is like KD's my guy. We in a group chat together, and I actually need to check on him, see how he's doing. But
text him right now and tell him you're doing PMT and said that we'd love to have him on. He'll probably leave the group chat.
I'm doing PMT.
He's gonna leave the group chat.
He said they would love to have you on.
Yeah, squash the beef.
He still watches my Instagram stories I send him, and he just, well, no, he'll just like, or like if I like do an Instagram story like playing pickup, he'll just respond and be like, "Get this trash off the court," and then I'll send him being like, "Hey, you want to come on?" And he'll just read it and not respond.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah, it hurts my feelings every time, but I also kind of laugh.
That's funny. I got to ask him. I seen this Tinder profile that looked like it was his.
Yeah, I saw that too.
He might be out there. All right, I had one last question. Let us know if he responds real quick. But I had one last question. This has been awesome, CJ. We definitely have to get you in person too in Chicago when you're here next. Rowback question, RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Rowback.com. They also have swimsuits, summertime. Rowback.com, promo code TAKE. All right, so what are we adding to our game this summer? That's one of my favorite things that every NBA player it's kind of a cool flex being like, my game is so good, I'm going to add this little niche thing, this little one move that no one's expecting. What's the one move that you're adding this year?
I wouldn't necessarily say move. I'm working on. See if he responded. He ain't responded yet.
What did he say?
I sent it to the group. I ain't sent it to him directly. He ain't respond yet.
Okay.
It said 6 swing to the corner with the first comment. I'm working on paint finishing. That's like a real big point of emphasis for me. Obviously, spacing and a lot of those things play a factor, but I gotta have better court awareness and understanding of like just making sure people in the right spots, keep my assist to turnover ratio right. But paint finishing is huge. I was only like 58.3% at the rim, so I got to get better. I got to get to at least league average, which is like 65, somewhere around there. My paint shots, non-restricted area, were like less than 50, like 47, so I got to get better there. And then just a lot more of what I've been doing, like shooting the ball really well, shooting threes at a high clip, being good in pick and rolls over 1 point per possession, and then defensively being better in pick and roll. And like I'm never going to be like a lockdown defender, but I got to be average to above average statistically in terms of what the defense is like when I'm on the floor. So I think that's the thing that I'm working on, really just paint finishing. That's going to be huge, spacing wise, floaters, touch shots, being smart with the Nash dribbles, and then just trying to impact winning.
Okay. And what's the move that you gave us the Hezzy Hey step back to freedom. Is there a move in the last few years that you've been doing that like you're like, man, this is so much fun whenever I can pull this off?
The Hezzy Hey is just like a classic, the step back to freedom. I've been shooting a lot of transition trays lately. I just, from a lingo standpoint, what can I leave you with on the transition? Transition, take that. Probably shouldn't say take that now because of where we're at in society, but I would say a lot of transition threes.
We can say transition, take that.
Yeah, take that.
Take that.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah, transition, take that.
Transition, take that. Yeah.
I love a good floater. Float me.
Float me.
One of my homies, shout out to Prentice, he used to say, you got to get up early in the morning for that. Like, you got to get up early in the morning to get to that floater because it's just like above your head. Especially with Wemby now, like, you got to shoot the floater. You got to have a floater. You got to shoot it high because guys is coming to get all of those. So I'd say the float me in the pull-up tray is a game changer. It's a shot I love. It's a shot I've mastered, and I shoot a high percentage at it. So, but that Hezzy Hey was legendary.
It was golden.
Yes.
It was golden.
Yes.
I feel like Kyrie does a lot of the float me too. He's a big float me guy.
Kyrie's float is crazy.
Yeah.
His best floats the world has ever seen. Left hand, right hand, glass, cash. He got everything.
How do you stop Kyrie? Is it possible?
I think you hope to contain him, man. He has every skill set in the book. 3-level score, fast, quick, in great shape. He was getting 40 during Ramadan. He was fasting and scoring 40 on people, like hungry, no water, no water, no food. Like that's a different type of killer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta trap him. I think OKC did a good job of taking the ball out of his hands, and just trapping him, showing him different looks, just making somebody else beat you because you show one body, even if you show too late, like he's too good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, OKC did a better job than Minnesota, that's for sure. All right, well, CJ, I promise you it will be sooner the next time you're on than this gap, and we do have to get you in person, but it's great to see you. Congrats on all the success, 2 kids, wine mogul. Also, I just looked up, since we last seen you, I think you've made like $150 million. That's pretty cool.
That's good, yeah. That's nice.
Do you ever just look at that? Do you ever look at it like, oh shit? Because is
that what happened since we last seen each other?
It's literally, I think you last were on in 2017-18. You were around 60 million for your career, and now you're around 215. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
Praise the Lord, man. This is a great world we live in, man, where if you can master something and become really good at something, do things the right way, try to lead a good life, things can turn out well for you, man. So I'm living a dream, man. I'm really thankful. I'm really happy and blessed. And I got 2 beautiful babies. I'm married. I can't complain, man. I got a Hezzy Hey. I got to step back to freedom. I got to float me. I got to transition, take that. I'm sipping Chardonnay, talking to you guys. What can I complain about?
Yes.
Something to aspire for.
incredible.
Yeah, congrats, CJ. And also, we left out the part that you're also the manager of our high-stakes fantasy football league that we're in. And Jerry O'Connell screwed up our lineup entirely last year, so that's all on him. Is he a pain in the ass to manage? Does he send you messages behind the scenes that we don't know about?
No. He's been cool, man. No real issues. This is the year where I really need to win this, man. I've put too much money into this fantasy football league to just continue to lose like this, and this is taking away from money from my Browns sweet games.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had to love that Joe Flacco run. Probably felt a little dirty, but still.
It was legendary, man. And, it was a situation where I thought the season was over, and then it just kept getting better. And then it was like too good to be true. And then we ran into a young Ohio State killer, and that was all she wrote. But it was a hell of a run, man. And hopefully, this year we can be good. I mean, we're going to need Chubb. I don't know if Chubb will be ready, but Chubb was huge for us, and for him to be hurt and get injured the way he did was devastating. But I love my Browns. We open up against the Dallas Cowboys. It'll be Tom Brady's first game on Fox, September 8th. We rock it, baby.
Yeah, that's big. I like that you got it circled. That's the sign of a true football fan, when you start just ripping off your schedule sometime in July or June. You're like, yeah, we open here, then the next week's tough. It's perfect. All right, well, CJ, thanks so much, man. We really appreciate it.
And you guys, man, y'all have a good one. And when I get to the Shy, I'll hit y'all for sure.
CJ McCollum was brought to you by the NWSL. Things have escalated from last week's show. We told you Nike hooked us up with that NWSL gear and how we wanted to go to that Red Stars game next Saturday, June 8th at Wrigley Field. Since then, that game is on track to potentially break the league's attendance record, so it's official. The Barstool Chicago crew is going. You all need to show up. Soccer at Wrigley. Let's break that record. We're going to report back after the game, but if you don't live in Chicago, you got to get to a game. All we keep hearing, there's so much fun. Get to an NWSL game this year. Check out the schedules. Buy some tickets. It's going to be a blast. Get involved with the NWSL.
Okay. That is our show, unless we have anything else. Oh, did you guys see Lenny Kravitz said that he hasn't had sex in 9 years?
Yeah, he hasn't fucked in 9 years. That must be really
impossible.
Difficult for Lenny Kravitz to do that.
That's insane. I would actually believe it if he has not come in 9 years, but he was fucking. But he's so good at holding it.
Because Lenny Kravitz is so hot that there's no one on earth that can make him come.
Right, and he's just I can control it so well. I'll fuck you for an hour, but then I'm just going to go home.
Maybe he's just done anal.
That could
Lenny Kravitz
also be it.
Strictly butt stuff.
He does. There's just no way. I mean, he has cooler sex than everyone else.
He keeps the scarf on.
Yeah. Look at him. He's doing. Is that actually Lenny Kravitz? Is that just Lenny Kravitz might lead the league in lookalikes if you just got some tattoos?
Yeah, it's either Lenny Kravitz or a anemic Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah. Is he retired?
No, he never actually retired. Larry, he just kind of stopped playing football.
Yeah. We got to figure out something to talk about on Wednesday because we have just no sports going on.
Let's see. What do we got? What do we got in the news?
Let us know what you want us to talk about. We could make a list. It's not Mount Rushmore season yet, but we could make a list for everyone.
We could do that headline thing.
Oh, yeah, we could do the headline thing.
Headline?
Yeah.
We could do NFL, NBA.
No.
I like the idea of making a list.
Yeah, let's make a list.
We'll do
Let us know what list you want us to make.
How about Hank's top 10 Patriots of all time?
Ooh.
No, let's get tell us, the AWLs, let us know what list you want, sports related, and we'll come up with a list.
We're going to rank something.
Yeah, we'll rank something and get everyone upset about it.
Mm-hmm. PMT makes a list and gets the internet mad at them.
Yeah, and Mount Rushmore season will start after the NBA Finals, which actually are the Stanley Cup Finals going to go later this year? No.
I don't think so.
Because they go every
because there's less time. In
they go every 2 nights because they're not pussies.
Yeah.
That's a lot of travel for them.
Wait, is there...
8-hour flight.
Are there any... There's not any nights where there's both. That would
actually
suck.
Game 7 of Stanley Cup would be Monday the 24th, which would be the day after Game 7 of
NBA.
Wow. So if they both go 7.
Wow. Damn. Kind of tough by them. Hank, you got to get Game 1 here. You just got to get Game 1 here.
I mean, get Game 1 here.
You got to get Game 1.
There's actually 2 days off
to arrive.
3 of the games.
I know.
I'm saying, you physically can't handle just this wait. You got to get Game 1 here.
Is there any way to speed up time?
Can you figure out a way
Sleep.
to get game one here?
Sleep?
Golf.
No
If
call.
you just golf every second between here and game one, it will get here fast.
If you black out, that's kind of like
I
time
think
travel.
Josh Allen just did like a charity 110 holes in one day thing last week. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Hank could never do charity.
He accidentally did that. Get game one here.
I'll see what I can do.
Figure it out.
I will.
Okay, numbers.
20.
56.
18.
You're so pressed, Max.
So proud.
That was
17.
That was pressed. All right, I'm gonna do 8.
3.
99 per.
21.
Oh, damn. 59. That make you a little nervous,
Nah,
Max?
I knew it was 59. I knew it was 59.
That make you a little nervous?
I knew it was 59.
Have you ever gotten this?
Nope.
That make you a little nervous?
Nope.
Love you guys.